Tropical Sacrifice. The ketchup has been sprayed about to increase the mobility of all the units, of course, as is per usual. And here he is, the Blue Protoss player, fighting for the Dragon, the Phoenix, and all the gamers in the world. It is Hero. Always excited to see him play. He is just such a fantastical combatant right now. Top right side, the Red Terran player fighting for Psystorm Gaming. It's none other than the Tabul Terran, Mr. GUMIHO. A feared foe indeed. Two of them. Can't help but think that Hero could be a little bit favored at this moment in time. He might just be the best Protoss around the block. At least in my opinion. I don't know if that is controversial anymore either, in all honesty. Might just be something accepted nowadays. He is that good. It's the great thing as well that he seems to just be a full package, right? He doesn't just execute his builds to a degree that is phenomenal. It's also that he comes up with the strategies, right? He is an innovative player that seems to be able to execute to the fullest extent. And that is just so exciting. That is just so much fun to see. Alright, a barracks here across the map coming up for GUMIHO, of course. Hero is aware that there is a barracks missing in the main base. Could just be under the impression that the barracks, you know, is like over here, trying to pretend to be hidden. But that is going to be hard for him to really make sure of. He did go for a Zealot to start things off. It's not going to help him out tremendously in this situation, but it's better than nothing. Little Reaper boy. Oh, careful. Almost loses the Reaper boy. There we go. Funny that this foursome has 3 of 4 semi-finalists from 2017 GSL Season 2. Alright, that is pretty interesting. They're the old guards, aren't they? It was like 5 years ago, that's crazy. That does feel crazy. It's 5 years ago when all these people were in the GSL semi-finals. Huh. Here they are again. Nothing's changed. Except for, perhaps, some of them. Ryung is missing. He beat Maru in the round of 8. That is ridiculous. 2017 was a crazy time. Ryung though. Oh man, I used to love watching Ryung. He was my favorite Terran back in the day. Which kind of makes him one of my more favorite Terrans right now as well. One of the Reapers goes down, but actually both of them go down. They do manage to obtain all the information necessary here to kind of figure out what Hero can throw at him in the initial few minutes from that point. He's got to be careful though. He's got himself the second base in the main base still. Really playing it careful. Kind of makes sense. Hero did have quite a couple of those gateway units coming out first. They tend to be sent across the map if the Protoss feels bored at home. And then, well, if you don't have that bunker, things can snowball quite quickly. Luckily for GUMIHO though, he seems prepared for anything of that sort. He made himself 2 Cyclones and they are just the early game dominators, aren't they? Anything comes close, they'll look on and just shut it down one at a time. Season 1, Zoun lost the stats. Was that his second place? It must have been one of his second places, right? Ooh, dear. This is still a lot of army, actually, coming out. There's a siege tank. The Stalkers blink into the siege tank. Alright. Alright, calm down. Calm down the nerves a little bit here. I don't think he's going to kill anything. Does take another volley from the siege tank, though, onto a Stalker, but doesn't lose anything just quite yet. Other than the initial Stalker. Not sure if he wants to try and keep pushing into this area, though. Finds another siege tank with more Marines up in the natural base. And that has got to put a little bit of a break on your attempts here, right? No way he's going to blink in there. That would be crazy. Okay, no, he doesn't. Thank you. Single Cyclone coming across the field, wants to find out whether or not there is a third base. Instead finds himself a sentry. No, not too upsetting a price, but he couldn't verify about the third base location, so that could mean he's going to invest his can. Wants to push out regardless. Combat shields now in production, should finish up around the time when his assault really kicks off on the opposite side of the field. Has to be quite careful with those Marines, doesn't want to lose too many here. Great control from Hero. He's letting it get a little bit silly sometimes. Look at the amount of Marines already picked off. Hold on, 5 of them. Ooh, that's a bit aggressive though. 2 Stalkers going down. Trying to keep my eye on that Units Lost tab. Now starting to slow push. He brought a couple of SCVs along as well. This is lovely to see from GUMIHO here. Wants to try and make this work to the fullest. Still not a single stim being made as either. Oh, that is terrifying. Oh boy. Alright, Zealot Sentry army set up on the backside, but with the siege tanks in this position, as long as they manage to get sieged. Alright, it seems like they are in an okay position. Oh, but the Protoss is so spread out. The Protoss is just so spread out. Shield battery overcharge there on the Stalker, so the Marines really don't get to do too much either. That is absolute devastation there. I thought it would work out perhaps a bit better for GUMIHO with his siege tanks. Well, 2 of them being sieged up already. And then the other 2 starting to siege up relatively quickly, but it just wasn't enough. It just really wasn't enough. Now, on the back side of things, is it going to be a smart choice for Hero to try and make a counterattack work here? He mainly has those Zealots, and he doesn't seem to be able to break the front door. He'll be backing up. He's got himself that third base after all. Templar Archives on the way. Robo being introduced into the mix as well. You should feel fairly confident just kind of in this position. Keep GUMIHO from having that third base location as easily as he would like to. Keep playing from there. Get higher AoE tack, right? Damage on the field. Whether that be Storm, whether that be Disruptor, Colossi. I don't really care too much. It is going to be Storm. I'd like to see that. He did fly in here a couple of times as well, right? It's like he's verifying whether or not there's still the 2 reactors onto the barracks. 2 more barracks are being constructed. Most likely will have themselves tac labs though. Harstem with a massive raid. Thank you so much, my man. Very much appreciated. Hope you guys had a lovely stream. Yeah, I really like the High Templar attack here for Hero. Realizing that Marine production was pretty much all that GUMIHO was doing there for a very long time. Now starting to add in those Marauders, but still no Ghost Academy anywhere in sight. Could be a fantastic bit of attacking here. There it is. Does reveal the storm for... well, I mean, that's only 5 SCVs. GUMIHO's economy already in shambles, so those 5 SCVs are quite precious. If he wants to mount some sort of a return into this. GUMIHO's still kind of... well, other than that one medevac drop stuck on his side of the field. Not gonna get much out of this one, I would assume. GUMIHO will be sending the rest of his infantry forwards, leaving behind the siege tanks here. Perhaps fearing counterattack, or just wants to be able to run away as quickly as possible as soon as he finds the Protoss army. Does have his third base though. That's a nice thing. Kinda would have liked to see a fourth base somewhere, right? At least on the way, but... well, he's just gonna have to be ever so much more efficient. Which is something he's been struggling with so far. Look at this army. It's just everywhere. It's just one big line of army right now. That's crazy. Some more over here. He does not want GUMIHO to move out right now. Or at least not without him being aware of it. Coming in through the tiniest choke points imaginable. Storms are going to be quite difficult to make work here as well, unless if the Marines all stim forwards and try to group up together. It's like they were doing one of those dancing chair games where there's only one chair and they all ran towards the same one. I don't think GUMIHO is in a great position here to try and survive this. Quite a lot of units going down there. Whatever was saved into the medevacs, I feel like they must be quite low on the HP. Couple of Widowmines, the last barrier defense, together with those 2 siege tanks, which he just moved onto the low ground. He cannot afford to have those... oh, wait a moment, this is a bit of a counter-attack right here as well. Found himself to Colossi fresh off the production line. And does force the entirety of the army of the hero to start moving backwards. Now GUMIHO is incorporating Ghost, he is incorporating Liberators into his forces. He's still on 100 army supply versus 102, so... I mean, it's fully possible that he just wins a big fight here. And then suddenly starts taking control of this game. It's not going to be an easy one though, with those storms still available. The storms are going to have to be used quite quickly though, with the siege tank bombarding the High Templar quite early on. Fight. No way, that is nowhere near enough Terran. That is nowhere near enough Terran. GG is called as hero. You know, gets himself through game number 1 quite nicely. There we are, 1 point for the Dragon, the Phoenix, the Gamer. Blue Protoss, Mr. Hero. Bottom right side, System Gaming, the Red Terran, Mr. GUMIHO. GUMIHO versus Hero are 16 to 28 in matches, and 62 to 83 in maps. So actually the map score is surprisingly close, seeing the match score, right? 16 to 28, you would imagine that being a lot further apart in maps then, but... well, in 2022 they are 4 to 7 and 18 to 23. It's definitely Hero looking like he has the better statistics on his hands once again. Not much of a surprise these days. But there is some wiggle room here, right? We know that GUMIHO has the potential to make this work. Nothing too interesting to see here just quite yet. 2 pylons are in base. I guess that's the big teller for this moment in time. Still a probe heading out though. Did he see the probe moving out? I think he may have. I think he may have, if I'm remembering that correctly. Oh. Just scouting. Seeing what's what in the Terran base as well. And this is an important scout. Seeing the factory here. It doesn't tell everything about GUMIHO's builds, but what GUMIHO's build does tell us, the viewers, is that, you know, he wants to try and obtain some sort of an early game lead. The same thing happens in game number 1 with that proxy barracks. It's not incredibly committed as this is going to be, right? This just has to do damage for him to be able to even have a chance of winning this. But yeah, it does kind of give me the feeling that GUMIHO just, perhaps rightfully, appreciating the skill here of Hero and how difficult it would be to just play a straight up game with him. If you manage to catch him off guard in the early game, perhaps your overall chances of success will be a little bit higher. Right. That's the first adapt. That's a big pick-off. Only 2 Stalkers now to worry about. A 3rd Stalker is being produced though. These Hellions adding in fantastic damage to those probes, but so far only getting 1 of them. Just be careful with those Hellions. Still quite squishy. The Marauders want to chase down those 2 Stalkers. Are doing a fairly good job. 5 probes have gone down in total. See how good the micro is on these Hellions. Can they get more kills? There we go. That's a good shot. 2 more go down. That makes a total of 13 probes, and that has got to make it worth it. Was it a double? There is a double robo. What in the world is happening here? I'm sorry, I did not anticipate that. Thank you for pointing that out. Berlin drag these nuts. Thank you. Oh, counter-attack coming in now a little bit. Marauder should be enough with the Cyclone here. Unfortunately, the lock-on onto the low HP. And, yeah, Hero taps out. In the bottom left side, he'll have another shot at this, of course, to try and regain his lead. The Blue Protoss fighting for Dragon Phoenix Gamers. Mr. Hero. Mr. Hero. In the top right side, a red Terran. Storm Gamer. That is what he is. It is a GUMIHO. Aki27, thank you so much for that sub. Very much appreciate it. 13 months already. Time does fly, doesn't it? Now, we were just talking about how 3 of the 4 players here all participated in the 2017 semi-finals in the GSL. It's just Ryung that we're missing from the party. But it's really cool to see all these old geezers kind of, you know, still coming around, still being some of the tougher opponents in the field. Right. Little probe shindig trying to blockade that command center for as long as he could. Things looking normal other than that. There is a little SEV trying to make its way across the field. That could be for a starport here. Or a proxy, actually a proxy factory, isn't it? He doesn't have a factory yet. It will be the factory, alright. Could be Widowmine, could be Hellions, attempting to be dropped into that base. Anything crazier and I might lose my mind. We're gonna see like a quick tank push here from this position. Ah, I doubt it, right? I really, really doubt it. Little Reaper boy does manage to get into the Protoss space, but there's a shield battery there with an adept. Not much to do other than just kind of look around and see what's what. Adept for Hero on the other side of the field, doing a little bit of the same. He's not going to be able to, well, stop the command center, but he's going to get himself an SCV. No Terran shield battery to save him there. Oh, okay. Eye for an eye. A worker for a worker. Oh, now it's 2 adepts here. That could become problematic. May want to consider having that Reaper across the map again. Marines do kind of struggle in this situation after all. Especially with most of your production being across the map here. This is a scary situation. But if he holds on, right, with the gateway forces of Hero here on the other side of the field, maybe that is his ticket to a bit of success with the Widow Mines. He's bringing the Widow Mine back. Oh boy. I think that's an all-army hotkey issue. And now there's another issue, which is an Oracle. Oh boy. Well, only 2 workers there. Does fly away rather than into the main base. I think he could have gotten away with a bit more damage there. Maybe even just jumping onto those Marines would have been insufficient. But there's the Widow Mines right now. See how well they do. Doesn't want to connect onto the Adept. Nice unburrow there. Ooh, 10 kills with 1 Widow Mine. Alright, things stacking back up into the favor for Mr. GUMIHO here once again. If it were not for this Oracle here, it's going to run out of energy. So it's... I think it's a really good position here for GUMIHO. That worked out surprisingly well. 12 kills in total. The Widow Mines are still around as well. This is just having a rough time overall. Oh, brings in a Liberator now. He's like, nope, you will never do mining in his main base. It's just not gonna happen, sir. Kinda has to give into the inevitable, well, Stalker units. Oh well. Pretty good, pretty good. Let me take a look at the income advantage tab. Yes. Really nice. Looking fine red mountain peaks there for GUMIHO. Rogo not out of it just quite yet. Has those oracles still available, and we all know how good he is with those oracles. Some crazy amount of kills right here, and considering the amount of Marines that were available, with a missile turret almost done as well. Bringing in a couple of Phoenix. Yeah, I don't think Hero's going to give up that easily. 9 SCV kills. This is, once again, a very close series. Oh, another Liberator. One Liberator at a time. Definitely delaying the gas income for Hero here quite a bit. Phoenix trying to find a starport now. Won't be able to find it unless if they start heading towards the Terran base. GUMIHO can do a tank rush. He is crazy. I mean, if someone's gonna do it, it may as well be GUMIHO, right? One of those players. He's been around the block enough. He's not afraid to be loopy. He's okay with the crazy. Third base coming up as well. Why was GUMIHO mad at the factory when he shot it? Well, clearly it was I don't know. Wasn't up to code. Maybe the oracles tagged it with some graffiti. Who knows? I don't know how to use a brush and some cleaning supplies, so, you know, just shoot it off, and then we'll repaint it afterwards. Something like that, probably. Most likely. Ooh, Widowmine! Success! Didn't even realize there was a Widowmine hidden there. Guess I wasn't looking. That's pretty good, man. That is pretty good. The less of that Oracle is around, the less likely it becomes for Hero to win. Because he will do actual game-winning moves with Oracles. There we go. Lovely little flank with a couple of Marines. Finds that Oracle. And shuts that one down as well. So as the two Phoenix kind of patrolling the areas, making it difficult for flanking Medevacs to try and set up into the main base here for Protoss. The Stalkers, in fact, finding themselves on the back foot of a engagement with the Marines. As a scan forward reveals a shield battery together with quite a couple of sentries. A tough area to try and engage into. With more and more reinforcements for GUMIHO will be coming to this situation right here. Where is the shield battery overcharged? There it is. Needs to retreat right now. There we go. Okay, wait out the storm. Bait out the Widow Mines. Okay, that's 3 Stalkers there actually. Not too bad, but the Marine numbers are dwindling. I don't think that's enough Marauders here to really pack his way through this engagement. But, oh wow, he also gets the sentries. With good target fire, he's doing really nice here actually. Is he going to be able to do it? No way, right? Well, there's more reinforcements. Shouldn't be happening. I mean, his army supply is so much higher than that of Hero, though. A lot of that is inside of those Medevacs. That is giving him so much sustain right now. Those 5 Medevacs right here. And making it now 6. Almost each unit having their own Medevac. He will have to be careful with a mine drop being sent across the borderline there on the south side. Curious as to where his location will take him. Where his destination might be. Two before Ghost Academy. That is actually an interesting point, yeah. We're seeing a lot more Ghost Academies now quite early on. Although I feel like that might be more effective against the Zealot Archon play. 11 kills on those with a Mind Slop. More probes gonna go down here. GUMIHO absolutely tearing Hero apart. A counterattack with Zealots is trying to achieve some things here, but a Widowmine hit. Gonna clear that up quite nicely. Now more bio units trying to make their way in. The 2 Medevacs emptied out. Okay, so that did cost GUMIHO quite a bit of army, but overall he is still ahead in army supply. He's ahead on workers. He is ahead on bases, or going to be pretty soon. Unless if these Stalkers, of course, you know, cast a curse me right now. Which is something they love to do. As this is... well, actually, is this a good enough concave? I know... yeah. It's a rough one. It's definitely a rough one. Hero's struggling back up against the wall right now. Trying to figure out what his best course of action is. Is it going to be you just keep trading in this place, or... he knows his economy got just absolutely demolished. He has to make something happen, right? Just trying to ramp up that aggression, trying to get GUMIHO off his backside. Here he is once again. Oh, the probes! The probes! 8 of them. 8 more probes falling down. Is GUMIHO even... did he just know that would happen? Did he just know, like, Hero's this good, right? He will send in a couple of units over here to try and intercept. I think he did. So he's just like, let me send it to here. Oh, what are you doing? What is this brazen course of action? That was a Rambo move. My goodness. Just loads everything up, jumps over the destructible debris on top of Stalkers, unloads. What a... Coronation. Alright, is this enough bio now? Does have a wonderful upgrade lead. Well, actually, it's wonderful. It's the 1 armor extra. It's not that impressive, but he's got himself enough bio. He's got himself enough medevacs here to just push his way through the Starker army. There's no splash damage here. And that will be the final nail in the coffin for Hero. Going, well, with another loss here. 2 losses in a row. So in the hands of these 2 players, I suppose. Both of them. They do contribute as much to a game. In the bottom left side, the blue Protoss player. Fighting for the Dragon, the Phoenix, the Gamers. And also for himself, I assume. It is Hero. Wrapping the first common StarCraft 2 avatar there, of course. The first one you get, the... yeah, it's just nice to see, you know. Down to earth. Right, top right side. System Gamers, Red Terran, the Towel Terran. Ruining the Protoss day at this moment. It is GUMIHO. Showing some wondrous, monstrous, actually, I could say, aggressive openings here, and they are packing a punch so far against Hero. Very likely we're going to see something else similar, as 2 gas are being taken here by GUMIHO quite early, right off the bat. This is a map Terrans have been liking, isn't it? Maybe? Possibly? Possibly? Weird thing is that because I cast the Korean games, it's hard for me to really talk to the players. They see me around now and again, but you know, it's hard to say if they even know who I am in a way, you know? I don't know, but yeah. But possibly. Only get 1 veto after all in a best of 5. Versus Zerg, where Hero is immortal, versus Terran, he struggles from time to time. I would agree with that statement as well. He's making some cool plays, but I mean, GUMIHO, these last 2 games, he's just denied Hero the straight up game, right? He's just been on top of Hero's case all this time. Here, look at the amount of scouting he's doing right now. He is just absolutely tired of all these shenanigans, all this cheese just being thrown at him. The entire French cheese shop like GUMIHO possesses had a big sale apparently. Gets the Reaper. That's a lovely job right there. A good start. Always annoying when you're, you know, defending against something like Widow Mines, and then all of a sudden there's still that one Reaper, right, going into your natural bases. Your units are shooting down Widow Mines. So no more potential for that. Hero going to be sending his gateway forces across the map here as well, and that could be problematic if it were not for the Phoenix that he's creating right now, actually. Yeah, the Phoenix with the Oracle, I think he should be okay defensively, right? When did Hero play straight up? Alright, I mean, what I'm saying, right, the straight up game for Hero is not the actual, you know, meta that other people play, I suppose. Or the majority of players kind of go back to. But it is now, to be fair, it is now. People just, you know, whatever, actually, yeah, in a way, he plays it and then it becomes the straight up play, right? That's just how you do it. At least in the PvZ matchup. But yeah, he's been denied from just getting to play the game that he would like to play, right? Whatever that may be, he just keeps having all this stuff being thrown at him. And even now, right, he's playing very carefully, making the Zealot first, scouting the entirety of the map, making the Phoenix even, right? Another way to try and ensure yourself safety in that early part of the game. Did I miss a Widowmine drop or something? No, I didn't. It just never really went. I think GUMIHO reading the situation very well also. Just kind of realizing, alright, I got myself in a very solid position now, at 2-1. I just need one more victory, so, you know, we could try to just keep throwing every cheese imaginable at this guy, hoping we get lucky again in one of these 2 games, or, you know, we slow it down a little bit. This guy's going to be on edge. He's not going to cut any corners because, well, he knows what happened in the previous games. Oh dear, this is something. Oh boy, a lot of stuff. I have so many emotions right now. I have so many emotions. Oh my goodness. Alright. Interesting. That didn't really work. And, I mean, the Widowmine drop is still approaching to his base. He's getting a couple of those SCVs, but this is a problem, potentially. Yes, that is indeed a problem. That is 5 kills right there. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. You know what? You know what? I think he's done it. Wait, what? He only now gets Adept Glaive. What is happening with Hero this game? Guys, what is happening? Why? He went in with the Adepts without Adept Glaive, and now he's getting Adept Glaives after losing all of his Adepts. He's gonna go for more Adepts. What is happening? I feel like he's just frustrated right now. He's just so frustrated. And, well, I would be too. Not gonna lie, but my goodness. Guess you just kind of go with something that you think may have something to say about the Marine numbers here, but with the siege tanks too. It's an interesting way to try and approach this, I suppose. Get the Adepts on top of the Marines. I can see it work, but yeah, I don't think he has the numbers. Right? GG. GG! Everyone! Our emotions skyrocketed once again. This was a crazy game.